Hello friends, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm well myself. It's Nuts or Auntie Wamaju, and today we are going to make a very simple bread. I love bread because it's a very simple skill to learn, and if you practice and improve it, you can make bread any old time, yeah, as long as you have a yeast. So the kind of yeast we're going to use today is instant yeast. It helps because you don't have to bloom it. It's you just mix with the ingredients, and if you do it right, your bread will rise right. And so this is a thing you can do anywhere, and you can carry your yeast to the rural areas. Anywhere you can make bread, and it's a skill. When you learn and practice, you can develop it in even for other meals like buns to make with your burgers. Or for your burgers, you can do rolls for your dinner, or to go with your dinner. So very good skill to learn. It's very easy. It does take time to proof it, yeah, because you can proof it several times, but actually the cooking time is very little, 15 to 20 minutes. So bread making is a skill everyone should learn. So welcome. I hope you like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe so we can grow together. So yeah, this is how we make the bread. Hey, so we start by gathering our ingredients. I have 1¼ cups of warm water, about 110 degrees. You can check with the thermometer or the tip of your finger just to make sure it's warm. You don't want it hot because it might kill the yeast. And you mix the milk powder with 1/4 cup of the water. So overall, you'll have 1¼ cup, 1½ cup of the liquid, and you want to just mix your yeast there so that it dissolves. If it doesn't dissolve, it might show in the flour, and this is why we mix it in the liquid. Then we have some sugar, the oil, and a teaspoon of salt, and then you mix all together and mix in the dry ingredients. The flour I'm using is bread flour just because I have it. If I didn't have it, I could totally use AP, all-purpose flour, or just any other plain flour. You just don't want to use any flour that has a raising agent like self-raising flour. Just plain will do. So I want to make a hole in the center and add all my wet ingredients, which includes the sugar and the salt. Yeah. Came in 17. Damn. Bring the wet and dry ingredients together, and once all the liquid is incorporated, you can turn your mixture onto the table or the counter and just knead from there. You work it better that way, or you can just knead in the bowl if it's more convenient for you.
유난히도 캄캄한다면 나 홀로 너를 생각하네. 이런 기분 설명할 수 없어. 원래 이맘쯤 너와의 여행을 생각했었는데 yeah. So the technique here is just rolling out your dough with your hand just like that. If you push it out, and you bring it back, it forms into a log shape. And by doing this, you're actually stretching the gluten. You work out the flour, you work out the yeast in it, and it becomes softer as you continue to do this. Experts say you should do this 150 times, but you want to do it until you see that the dough has become smoother. So at this point, it hasn't. So you continue to do it until the dough shows that it's smoother, and once you stretch it, it doesn't tear easily. I dare you to fix me. I'm crossing the line again, falling on my knees.
If you're satisfied that the dough is done, add a little bit of oil, just a tablespoon will do, and just put the dough in and make sure that it's well coated in oil. The seam side down is best, but either way, it will rise. This is what you want to do. Keep it in a warm area for about an hour, covered just like this to rise. And then you want to prepare your tins. Make sure that your tins are well oiled. This is an hour later, so you punch out all the air. As you can see by all the bubbles, it's well aerated. So you want to punch it down, or the technique is called knocking back. And then at this point, you don't need it again. In fact, you want it as soft as it is, and then you just spread out with your fingers, or you can use a rolling pin to roll out. You want to divide the mixture because you want 2 loaves, and then keep one aside. You can divide as I will do, or make the same shape. When rolling your loaf, you want it very tight. That way, it will be tightly packed. Even when you cut, it won't show that you rolled. It should appear as one. So you're making a log shape, and you want to tuck in the ends so that it looks neater as you place in the tin. The good thing with our tins today is that they are see-through, so you're able to see as the bread proofs, and after we bake it, we'll be able to see just the color that we want. So feel free to get creative with your dough. You've come a long way. You've proofed, which is a very important thing that you've done. Just proofing your dough so that it aerates properly means you've done it correctly. So I'm dividing the rest of my dough into 3 so that I make a different kind of design on this bread. Ideally, this is for milk bread. This design is commonly for milk bread, but who's gonna stop you if you want to do something different, right? So tuck in the ends, and we're going to make 3 log shapes and just do our bread different, just for variety. This works very well.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think you'll have to listen, because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so bright, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give, something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now and now.
Look at you, you've done well. And if you're doing different designs that you like, perfect. You want to keep your bread to rise for further 45 minutes in a warm place. 45 is good. You can do an hour if you want to, but this is a good rise. It probably will not rise much more than this after it's baked. You want to bake in a very hot oven. 400 degrees Fahrenheit is good. And you want to bake for 20 to 25 minutes. This all depends on your oven. 20 minutes worked for me. So this is the rise and the color we got. I could tell from the sides that it was well browned, and you want to knock it like that. And listen. If it feels empty, then it's done. If it doesn't feel empty inside, then it shows that it's still very thick inside and you want it to continue baking and rising for a while. So this is done. The color is good, and once you take it out like this, the color is perfect, but it looks a bit dry. You can rub some butter on it like this. It won't show much afterwards. It will dry a little, but this is the best time to do it if you want to, because the bread is still hot and the butter will melt on it. So our bread looks lovely, and you want to just butter it, and you don't want to cut at this point. You don't want to eat it at this point. You want to give it a bit of time, like 10 minutes, and then if you cut after that, it will still be warm enough to butter. But if you cut it at this point, it's still too hot. The cooking process hasn't finished, so it might get a bit sticky, especially in the mouth. That is quite unpleasant. So let it rest for about 10 minutes, and then you can cut and butter your bread. Serve with your tea or coffee or uji. It works very well with any of that, or just eat it on its own with some butter and jam or jelly. Perfect. So this is good. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.